G'day guys, you're with Adelaide Eternal. I'm Beckett Wolfe. I'm here in the booth with Luke McGlaughlin.
Howdy guys.
We're about to start round 4 of our Highlander Challenge 2018 December. And we're getting to the pointy end. It's the 4th round. We've got Michael Hearn on Channel / Lich's Mirror
/ Bomberman / other assorted combos and fast matter
versus Elliot Hoskin on his own green-black mid-range brew. Let's check out Michael, who's in the Hall of Heroes with a vintage win and a couple of top 8 finishes. He's been playing since Dissension, and I think it's going to be another top 8 finish here today for him, since he's being featured in the final round. So I think he did pretty well today. Do you know much about his list?
We talk about Elliot's list, or are we on about Michael's list? Michael's definitely adopted this Channel Lich's Mirrors decks because he says Adelaide loves Skullclap mid-range decks, and my deck just eats them alive pretty much. So it's one of the faster combo decks in the format, pretty much mainly revolving around Channel or Fast Mana. Michael himself being quite a combo aficionado has definitely figured out ways to storm people out through very convoluted means of cracking eggs and seeking out some channels. But it's also got the classic Aureox Salvages, Black Lotus, Bomberman combo in here, amongst us being able to hardcast Emrakul by paying some amount of life of the channel in play.
Would you call it resilient or glass cannon?
All in. Absolutely all in. It's fantastic.
If you've never played against Channel before, have you ever heard of the Channel Fireball?
The original combo?
The original combo. That's what I guess they're more than a store now. The business, the organisation, the famous Channel Fireball is named after being able to pay 2 mana Channel. You pay a life to get a mana, and then you Fireball your opponent for...
Yeah, you can kill them with a Lotus or something. You hit them for enough. But so Michael's definitely collected an eclectic selection of cards to do stuff.
Collected an eclectic selection?
Absolutely.
He's collected an eclectic... How long were you saving that one up for?
Not very long.
That was off the top?
Off the tongue. But yeah, it's so we have Elliot here on a black-green mid-range deck, which is very strange for Elliot, as I've only ever seen him sleeve up blue and red cards, either in the form of Splitter Twin or Delver of Secrets as well. But it's a fair deck. It's a very fair black-green deck. I think it's got the Dark Depths combo in here with Vampire Hexmage. It's got some cool, I believe there's a Birthing Pot in here floating around. And it is just trying to grind. It is trying to be very fair. It's got the Melira combo as well with Murderous Red Cavern Sacrifice Outlet from days long and gone. And then it is, it just has, I believe there's a Life and Loam in here for some Lone Raven's Crime shenanigans. But we'll definitely see how this game goes. It's going to be a quick one, I reckon. Once again, Elliot's playing a very fair mid-range deck, and Michael's playing a deck that's very good against fair
So
mid-range
we're thinking
decks.
Michael's probably pretty favoured.
It's going to come down to some hand disruptors, but Michael's deck, unless you've got a lot of ways to interact, you're probably very dead.
Yeah, I played Michael at the Good Games event, and it was my only loss, and it wasn't close at all. I don't know. I packed my sideboard. I'm playing mid-range. I packed my sideboard full of combo hate. Full of it.
But the thing about Michael's deck is it operates on a bunch of different axes. It operates on a bunch of different axes. Like, you can bring in your Rest in Peace and stuff to stop the bomb man, then just like Channel Emrakul, or you have cards like Gadol Teague or something, which is inherently good against combo. But once again, Channel just gets around that by hardcasting an Emrakul or Bomberman, Aureox Salvages, and the deck's just has a lot of moving parts, and you can get stormed out, you can get attacked with an Emrakul, you can get Pirate Spellbombed, you can get killed in 50 different ways. Not actually 50, that'd be too many.
Well, that's almost one way per card. But Michael, it's really interesting to see like a hard combo deck running Birds of Paradise with Finhorn Elves.
Needs the mana.
Yeah, it does. Like it sets up on turn, so it plays a dork turn 1. Sets up on turn 3, sets up on turn 2, wins turn 3.
Or potentially even win on turn 2.
Oh, of course. And it can win on turn 1, right?
Yes.
But I'd say that's why the reason that you're running the dorks. And you're not running like...
Unless you keep a creature one-landers.
So no one's bringing in creature hate for it. And it's not like sweepers are going to be good versus him. But he's actually got a fair amount of dorks.
I've got Limbala main board, which is pretty good if I survive that long, but...
So, like, I'd say an ideal is like turn 1 Bob. Not ideal, but a standard, decent play for Michael would be turn 1 Birds of Paradise into turn 2 Spellseek.
I don't think this deck has any standard plays.
You don't think so?
It's definitely a puzzle.
That's what he did to me every time.
It's definitely a puzzle.
Is Michael just really good at playing this? Because when I played him, it was quite quick. He didn't take a lot of time. He seemed to be deterministic line.
Some kills are a lot easier than others.
So I didn't feel like it was a puzzle when I played against him, just because he seemed to know. Is it just his efficiency with the deck?
It depends on which combo line you're going down. Sometimes it's reasonably academic when you just have access to the channel. But sometimes like going for storm kills and stuff do make the game a little bit more interesting as well.
Now, Michael, it's not long enough, mate. Come on.
It's like no one knows what half of these cards do.
No, right? Like I'm like I know what Black Lotus does.
Yeah.
Michael's got a Lotus in this list. So if anyone owns a Lotus and wants to give it a crack, I'd recommend this list. It's a good, genuine list to play it in.
Yeah.
And if you don't own a Lotus and you want to play in a proxy event and you want to see just how good Lotus can be, this is it. This is
Michael's deck is also very, very pretty. He's got a beta channel in here, and he's got some very, very hard to find foils. I asked him where did he find a foil kaleidoscope, and he's like, I think I found it online somewhere because that's a card I have not seen in a million years.
All right. So if you were watching this game without knowing the list, you would have thought, okay, yeah, turn 1 Dork versus turn 1 Dork, probably similar lists, but
yeah,
anything but, isn't it?
This is the turn that Elliot probably asked him the question to my dad. But
does Elliot know what mine was on?
I think at this point, Elliot sat down and he's like, I don't think I can beat this deck. And I think I said, no, I don't think you can either.
No.
But we'll see how this matchup goes.
Mana Confluence is a bit of a tell, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
That you're playing against combos, isn't it?
Yes.
So...
and Arbor Elf into Bayou doesn't really take much.
No. Oh, it's a great opener for Elliot.
Yep.
One of the best.
One of the best.
I'd say it's probably the best opener possible. That's the thing.
In the fair green decks.
When I played Michael, I drew perfectly. I drew my sideboard cards. It just didn't matter. There's Lotus. So
count 1. Black
Lotus says... I thought he was about to write something else there.
No. That's the F6.
When he started with F, I thought it was going to be a different thing.
No.
Black Lotus says, guys, if you don't know what it says...
Do you not know what it says, Beckett?
No, can you tell me?
Sure.
I haven't seen it before.
Sacrifice Black Lotus, produce 3 matter of the same matter of a color of your choice.
Oh, cool. So he's using swamps there to represent the mana. That's actually really smart. You don't need to write it down. That's really good. So he's got 3 black floating and now 1 green floating.
Yeah.
I like
this
that.
is just more of a visual aid for us.
That's really smart. Thanks,
playing
man.
here as well. It is unfortunately as interesting as Storm games are to watch sometimes, they're pretty this is gonna be
Intent.
this would be Diabolic Intent sacking the Fig.
How many decks? Diabolic Intent I first saw when playing Flash because you got a lot of creatures and it's a combat deck to search. This is probably one of the only few other decks that will utilize that because Intent says it's Demonic Tutor, but you have to sack a creature.
One of the things that Michael actually really loves to do is find off Spellseeker because you can or just have the Spellseeker because the Spellseeker is a creature tutor, but then obviously is a target you do 10 for. And another reason is you're pretty much using all these Llanowar Elves and stuff.
Yeah, you've got the elves.
Pedals to just have access to a free DT. Right. So this is probably channel and a way to die, I would assume.
Oh, so Michael just had like Black Lotus and channel on his opener, right?
Yeah, like I said, just Elliot has to ask himself the question: am I dead?
I mean, this deck is quite good, but I think this is like a particularly good.
That's something the weather like that card, right? I always forget what some of these random extra stuff do. So this would be for.
Sorry, he didn't have the channel because he searched for the channel.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, when you get to it,
he did. That's what his deck does.
So
that's Lich's Mirror.
Yep. Do you know what Lich's Mirror does, Beckett?
Oh yeah, I know what it does, but I couldn't explain it.
All right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So Lich's Mirror is if you would lose the game this turn, you would like shuffle up and then you shuffle all your permanents back in, and then you go back up and then draw 7 as you start the game again. But lingering effects still persist through this as well. So
I think it's really important for the viewers to know how channel works. Channel isn't a spell you cast and then it's done.
Yeah. So pretty much what happens is you can pay a life to produce a colorless mana
for the rest of that turn.
For the rest of that turn.
So you don't have to like pay 5 life and then that's it.
Yeah.
You can pay a life and then be like, oh, go to my attack step, pay in phase 2, pay another 3 life, draw this, pay another life.
Yeah. So being the lingering effect that it is, Michael has effectively killed himself with the channel to make 5 floating colourless mana to lose all this permanence. What a shame, but to draw 7 cards.
Yes.
And go back to 20 life. So
he starts the game again, but he's got not infinite colourless mana, but he's got enough.
Yeah, he's got access to another 19 basically if he wants to use
right.
it.
And the Lotus is shuffled back in.
Yeah.
And he's got black floating as well. You can see there from the visual aid from the swamp. So, yeah, I don't really read Lich's Mirror that much. I read it when it gets played against me, and then I lose 2 minutes later.
The Fabled Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope's so good in this deck. Never heard of the card until I played against Michael. What does it say? It says it's like 5 colourless mana.
Yeah. You can pay 5 colours to make Weebo, so you get to just kind of filter all your channel mana into coloured mana.
Yeah.
It's really good. Eggs and things as well.
Does it draw?
It draws when it enters and it draws when it dies, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like 3 to cast and...
Yeah. No, it's really good card. And it's beautiful as well, isn't it?
It's a Kaleidoscope.
I guess so. Yeah. Are you saying that all Kaleidoscopes are beautiful?
Kaleidoscope's pretty beautiful.
I think all Magic cards.
Almost as beautiful as this turn.
What's his life total?
He's still at 20, right? Because he reset off the Lich's Mirror.
Ah, of course, right. But soon to go down.
Or it could just be dead without underpaying all that. That'd be nuts. So Elliot's sitting here staring at his arbor off.
Well, hang on. Elliot's doing something. He's ticking up Michael's storm count for him.
He's also yielded all priority. That's the old ex-tutor.
And I'll tell you what, Elliot's doing a great job at ticking up that storm count.
So tutor for 3 cards, and what kill do you reckon he's going to go for?
I think he's going to get Black Lotus and Auriok Salvages. He's going to produce infinite mana. If you don't know that combo, Luke's about to explain it to you.
I guess he's going to go for turn draws.
Okay, that'll do it too.
Yeah.
What I found he normally does is he searches for a thing that searches your sideboard, and then...
Well, the tendrils is in your sideboard.
Yeah, well, I think what he does is he flips the opponent's deck. It's like a mill effect, and then he gets to see your deck. So if you don't concede, he gets all the information.
I've usually conceded it by that point against Michael, but I'm sure there is a card that probably does that. So he's gone for all of them. So so as Beck was just saying before, because of the Kaleidoscope in play, is going to give him access to be able to put the Auriok Salvages in play, and the Black Lotus. So for those playing at home, Auriok Salvages, a card from, I believe, Darksteel. It's a 4 costing, I believe, Core Soldier or Core Cleric.
Yeah, chuck it in your core deck.
Probably super wrong. You can pay 1 and a white to return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand.
How much does Black Lotus produce?
It produces 3. Basically, this is infinite mana, and then Michael is then going to search for it's infinite storm as well. Storm lots. In fact, storm lots, and he's going to maximize acquisition to effectively wish for, I assume, Tendrils of Agony out of the sideboard.
Yes.
Or this is the Gravestorm one.
Yeah. So it's essentially it's a storm card, but he will get to if Elliot doesn't.
It's actually a Gravestorm card, Beckett. It's actually not a storm card. So
I think Elliot should have conceded there because now he's just giving info to Michael, right?
So Bitter Ordeal, one of the few cards that actually has the keyword Gravestorm on it, which is for every card that went to the graveyard this turn, which then triggers off the Auriok Salvages and the Black Lotus.
Yes.
It is similar to the other storm count, and Elliot has unfortunately not tracked the Gravestorm count, so that's a misrepresentation of game state there. But he's dead. He's dead, Jim.
Yes. I think he should have just... I mean, maybe Elliot's already given up all hope, but I think he should have just conceded. That's why Michael doesn't just search for tendrils. Because...
I think it kind of goes both ways as well. Like, Elliot wants to see how he dies as well, so for sideboarding. I don't mind...
But you see how he dies once the Gravestorm's shown, right?
You can concede with the Gravestorm on the stack.
Yes.
That's the one way you could do it.
That's what I would be doing, yeah.
But I think Elliot's doing too many fair things for anything unfair to kind of pop up as well.
Okay. So going to sideboard...
He's got Rabbit, Excavator, and Tireless Tracker.
Going to sideboards, I'd say he's surely bringing in... this is Elliot. Bringing in Duress, Collective Brutality. What does Golgari Charm do?
Golgari Charm is 3 modal. It's a instant for a green and a black. You can give the board -1/-1, destroy target enchantment, or regenerate your board.
Doesn't seem
Not
like it
good.
did much, no.
So currently, Elliot, I believe, has the Leyline of the Void.
Scavenging ooze?
Too slow. I reckon it's the Duress and the Leyline of the Void, and hope Michael gets very unlucky.
Nature's Claim?
What are you trying to interact with?
Dark Blast for the 1/1s?
I think you have too many bad cards in your main deck to...
To be fair, he's got like a full Inquisition Thoughtseize, him to Turak, Raven's Crime even package. So he's got a bit of hand hate. I don't think he's as out of it as you say.
Yeah, but I think of the sideboard cards, the cards that he wants is you could potentially go super next level and try to go Gonti the Channel. That would be sick. I'd love to see that. So that Michael doesn't have access to.
It's really interesting.
The card.
I like Gonti. I don't think he's strong enough, but I want him to be.
Gonti's great. You can pot into it.
Do you reckon he's so cool? I do like Gonti.
I'm not going to attempt to figure out how Michael's going to sideboard.
So
I think he's going to do absolutely nothing.
Michael's definitely going to bring in all 15 of his sideboard cards.
And turn off all his wishes for his turn.
And turn off all his wishes for his tenders. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll probably...
He might bring in the Pyroclasm, and that's maybe it.
What's Mizzix's Mastery?
Mizzix's Mastery
What's
is...
Overmaster?
So Overmaster...
What's Seeds of Innocence? What's Virtue's...
I actually know what these cards do.
I don't know any of these cards.
So Mizzix's Mastery is a 2017 Commander card that lets you cast a spell from your graveyard, and if you overload... So it's from the Mizzix deck. So I think it's like 3 in a red... You get to cast a spell from your graveyard without paying its mana cost, and I think if you overload it, you get to cast all the spells in your graveyard without paying its mana cost.
Right.
Overmaster, I think, is the next spell that you cast is uncounterable. Draw a card.
Because Michael's deck searches, he has these wish style effects where he searches his sideboard for the kill con. First of all, why are they not main board?
Which ones?
Well, like Tendrils.
Because it is more vulnerable to hand disruption by having it in your main deck, and once you have the kill condition locked up, you can just search for it.
Right. So that makes sense. There you go. So it sort of plays around, I guess, that Gonti effect or Extract. I remember I used to play Extract in Highlander
Extract's a good one.
For the combo
hit the tinker.
Yeah. Or the Time Vault. That was what I always did. But it's very delicate because he's got these wishes. He needs to, it's not like a traditional sideboard. So he's actually quite limited in what he can sideboard in. The
majority of the sideboard is
start, mate.
The majority of the sideboard is pretty much just cards that interact with control decks, so the Duresses and those kind of things.
And stuff.
I assume waste to kill stuff like Alatiga and Tali's with the Pyroclasms and stuff. So Seeds of Innocence for those playing at home is a 1 green sorcery. Destroy all artifacts that can't be regenerated. The control of each of those artifacts gains life equal to its converted mana cost.
So Michael just showed us what he was citing in. I didn't catch what he's citing out. He cited in Forest and Hull Breach and 2 other things. So is that a hedge against...
Potentially against Strip Mine. You can fetch out the basic Forest and be okay from there.
Well, I was going to say Hull Breach is a hedge against random artifacts and enchantments that switch off your combo, like Rest in Peace or something like that.
Yeah.
Not that Elliot has Rest in Peace, but, a Leyline of the Void.
I just don't know what Michael takes out.
I don't know either. I wish I'd seen it. For those viewing at home, comment. Let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that... I think Leyline of the Void is probably another one that Elliot might have brought in.
You want... Like I said, just because the deck can just do the fast mana plan or do the graveyard recovery plan.
You just got to hope that you line up with what they're doing, right?
Yeah, and that's how a lot of these mid-range rock decks kind of work, is you want to have the appropriate amount of disruption and threats for what your opponent's trying to do. Once again, having a deck that can attack on all these, prey upon even all these weird axes.
Do you think Elliot's running prey upon?
No.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not. I'm saying that that Michael's deck is going to prey upon Elliot's deck.
Look, but that's... I was half joking, but that's Dark Blast for Elliot. If he draws the Dark Blast, it seems bad, but if it lines up well against what Michael's doing, i.e. Michael has dorks and is reliant on land 2 dorks, and that's his hand.
I've definitely I've definitely played against games with Michael where I've Source to Flash out his Fintorn Elves on, and then it's definitely put him in a spot where he can't resolve a threat. Same thing with Thalias and all the taxing effects or just hitting a key piece. There's definitely ways you can get around what he's trying to do. So we've got Goyf, Urborg things,
Black Lotus
and spells.
And Muddle the Mixture, I think it was.
Yeah, and Mastermind's Acquisition.
Oh, another perfect hand. So Elliot has drawn perfectly
He's drawn his one Bayou every game, and Michael's drawn his one Lotus every game. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
It could be like, imagine if it's like strip mine into Hypnodrag or something like that. That'd be nuts.
Strip mine.
Alright, step 1.
Let's go. Oh.
Gosh. Almost got him.
Still, it's pretty good.
So,
I'm going to assume the Lotus hand will get there though, right? Bayou. Model the mixture channel.
I think this is a pass. I don't think he had another fast matter. So he's got Mastermind's Acquisition, he's got Muddle the Mixture, he's got the Lotus, and I believe he had another card. Well, he's got a few other cards. But I don't think he had like a pedal or anything to go for the turn 2 channel. I don't think you can do anything with the turn 2 channel.
Well, I was about to say, I'd assume that, that's why I struggle to... I would not be able to play this deck, Like, you search so hard for the channel and then you need to really know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Is it Michael maybe considering playing Lotus to play around Thoughtseize effects or hold it to play around Artifact, Abrupt Decays, etc.?
I think you want to hold it for Storm Count, but it is pretty vulnerable at the moment, unfortunately. Because like I said, it's just another discount spell away from being...
But that would...
There's the hymn.
Oh, brutal. I was going to say, surely Elliot would have hymned first. Or is he just saying...
No, I like a stab.
I
like a stab. If your opponent is able to kill you through a turn 2 strip mine, then something should hit 2 shooters is pretty good. You want to establish a threat, and obviously the hymn then fuels your Goif as well. So you have your opponent on like a reasonable clock. Like if you are never playing a threat to kill Michael at this point, like
so land sorcery?
It's not going to get better than turn 2.
I'll pay that.
Yeah.
So land sorcery, Goif swings for 2. Elliot's looking pretty decent here, to be honest.
Just dead at all points. He's
Well,
dead. Yeah. It's just like a dream opening for Elliot and stuff, but it's just unfortunately his deck's just not built to fight against these super fast combo decks. He's got enough disruption, but it's just because we know that Michael has the Lotus and he still has the Mastermind's Acquisition as well. He's just a piece of killing.
I think if Elliot hit the Lotus, we'd be in pretty good Elliot territory.
Yeah, like this is a great draw from Elliot, and like his deck can obviously fight against the combo decks, but because
it just feels like if you're playing against combo and it's early, they haven't established anything, and you hymn them, I feel like you don't deserve to lose the next turn.
Maybe, but like I said, it could.
And he
has
it. He has it. The magic, the magic gods are right.
What have we got? Something like
Let's go.
a Liliana the Veil, I think is his best play.
I think Inquisition, Thoughtseize, Raven's Chrome.
Yeah, my cast that right. I mean, his cast Mind Twist for 3. He's got Mind Twist in his deck, right?
Does he?
I think so.
Ooh. I didn't actually look at his points. Michael's points are Channel Personal Tutor. Never seen a Personal Tutor in any other deck.
Yeah.
And Lotus.
Eternal Witness for him.
Nice. I like it.
I like Eternal Witness for Strip Mine, but...
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to get the Strip Mine back.
So I think this is the turn. If Michael can win here, obviously he wins. And if he can't, I actually don't mind Elliot's position of untap him and bash with Goif and Witness and keep up Shaman for some graveyard shenanigans.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
It's quite a quick clock and it's quite a good amount of hand hate. So I think Michael's got to go for it here, right?
Collect Brutality.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Get rid
of the him
and
kill Shaman. Pretty good. Discarding double, get any intent. And now he knows about the Abrupt Decay, so he knows to hold the Lotus. I think that's pretty good. And then that puts sort of Elliot back a turn, I reckon back 2 turns almost, Brutality really good. Is that out of the sideboard for Michael? The main board?
Brutality's in the main deck.
Yeah, it's quite good. So Michael obviously isn't playing blue. He's not playing counterspells to protect his combo. He's not really playing anything to protect his combo, but if he's playing anything, it's going to be
He's got like packs and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
He's got those kind of effects, I'm sure.
Preemptive hand hate. But I don't think he doesn't run Force. I don't think you'd want to run Force because there's not enough blue cards.
No, you don't have enough cards.
I think Pact's actually better than Force.
I think in this deck it is. Pact, when you get to play Pact in decks where you never play the following turn to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
What is this? Elves of Deep Shadow. You probably want to Abrupt Decay that, I reckon.
I'd Abrupt Decay, yes. Only so many targets, right?
It's a weird level of heat, like you know that he knows, but this is Michael just deploying threats as well. So
That's beautiful. What's that?
from the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this will probably prompt a decay, and then that's a swing for 5, putting him to 6. His just clocks like this. This Urborg turning this polluted delta into a swamp is actually probably going to win this game. Oh, sorry,
Wow.
by win this game I mean buy him an extra turn, because it changes the clock from 5/5 into 11 to 6/5. Yes, this is for 5 again. I believe. Yeah, nothing's changed.
Artifact creature land sorcery. Instant. There's an instant. Instant creature sorcery land.
The instance in there now. Yeah, sorry. No, it did change the clock. Disregard.
Lyra, so no infect counters for Elliot.
Yeah.
You've got to find another way, Michael. Alright. You've got to find another way besides infecting him.
Alright, what's he got?
Let's go, Michael. One time. I think Elliot's done a great job pressuring this much, right?
It's the good rock, and this is the fair thing about the rock decks as well. It's like it's not doing anything broken. It's very, very fair, but it has enough like effective disruption to kind of to pressure through as well. And like you just have to, try to stop the threats from coming and get to a point where you just
also Elliot's deployed like he's not tapped out, but he's tapped mana every turn. He's emptied his hand. He's kept it aggressive. He's kept it interactive. What else can you do?
The interesting line I still think comes down to the strip mine versus getting back to him, because then you could have strip mined instead of getting your him. Like you don't know you're playing around like brutality. I acknowledge that.
My instinct would be to get him myself, so I can't criticize Elliot for that. Now that you say it, and now that we're in this position where obviously Michael wants to hit a bit more mana, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, maybe it was Jerome. My instinct would always be him though.
The game's quite different, but I was thinking more in terms of like board development. You do get to play the strip mine that turn and get like immediate advantage over there. I do acknowledge the fact that obviously him to track is just a flat 2 for 1, but I think at the point you're past where you've got one him off already, which is already a 2 for 1, you're just trying to.
Oh, but the him's not good because of the card advantage. The him's good because it hurts Michael's hand, which is where all his power is. So yeah. Michael scoops it up.
But it's the interesting thing of like Michael can have all the cards he wants in the world to a point. It's just it comes down to if he has the mana to use them, and like you saw that he wasn't developing much mana or anything like that.
But when we're talking about a deck with Lotus, then cards equal mana.
But you also have to think it is singleton as well. Like they can always just have Michael's always had the Lotus, mind you. But there are some games where they won't have the Lotus. So he's bringing in the Klasm and he's taking out Hullbridge. It looks like.
Yeah, I think.
So Klasm for I assume cards like Ooze and.
Hullbridge might have just been
It might be the hedge for stuff like Highlander, the Void, and these kind of random cards that you're just not prepared for as well. So, it's that weird do I just hedge bring in ley lines or do I hedge bring in this card if you're playing a game 2 so you just don't randomly get got by them. It's the weird thing with sideboarding with Burn in Modern. There's a lot of people that will just blind bring in like destructive rivalries against the potential ley lines and stuff. But I think overall you just have to assume your opponent doesn't have it until you see it, because then you are just drawing dead and just reducing your entries as well. So as like Michael once again has more experience playing these decks, and probably the Hullbreach will have a target. You could assume that there are format staples like Nullrod, for example. I think it's fine knowing that every deck can play a colorless Stony Silence. Or every deck can have a ley line, or every deck can have a whatever.
That's right.
That's probably fine.
Yeah. Is Elliot running Nullrod?
I would hope he is running Nullrod.
Yeah.
I did see he had a pod in those kind of things, but I think Nullrod in the matchups that it's better is just better. I'm actually not playing Nullrod in my deck. I'm playing Aura of Silence because I value my equipment too high.
I go up and down with Nullrod. I don't think I'm running it at the moment in my Grixis control list, but
it depends on what you're expecting, I guess.
That's right. For me, it's definitely in the flex slot about what I'm expecting. Doesn't look like he's running Nullrod, no.
No, it looks like he's leveraging too much on the the jits and the clamps and the pods to want to turn off his own. Yeah, we're going in game 3 with Michael on the play. Let's see some fireworks with this one. Let's see if both
it wasn't as one-sided as we thought, Luke.
It was pretty one-sided. Michael played 2 lanes and died.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, it's 1-1.
Yeah, you do try to fight the good fight.
They're both one-sided games. So I see a Ternan Door. I see Grim Tutor. Was it Grim Tutor or Cruel Tutor?
That was Cruel Tutor.
Cruel Tutor.
I think there was a Peat Bog in there as well, which is the
Cruel Tutor's 3 mana.
Diabolic Revelation.
3 mana sorcery. Search any card. Lose 3.
Lose 2 or lose 3? Might be lose 3.
I think it's lose 3.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
We'll do our research next time.
Yeah. Mate, but isn't it a beauty? It's beautiful for me to watch Michael's deck, not just because it's so lovely, but just because I'm seeing all these like classic, old school Magic cards being used genuinely in a deck. It's
like Overmaster.
Yeah, like this isn't just like Elves of the Deep Shadow as well. Is a card I really like, but it's never been in a deck that I need.
Yeah. I've definitely been having a lot of fun brewing with Highlander, getting to play the standard All Stars from yesteryear as well.
Yeah.
And kind of like crafting this.
And this isn't just Michael playing it because he owns this card, so he wants an excuse to play it. So it's a bit of a stretch. These are all genuine. Like this is the list, I believe.
It looks good.
It's basically bang on what you should be playing if you're playing Channel. So, yeah, I really like it.
It's definitely.
I also want to sleeve up Elliot's deck, to be honest.
Like Green Fair things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already on junk, so it's like not much of a difference, right?
He's got the depths combo in there, which is pretty big. I actually always liked playing like None of the Reliquary in those kind of decks because you do get to it's like another tutor. You can fetch up depth stage.
Yeah, there's a lot of these junk at the Good Games event. There was quite a lot of 3 and even 4 color junk lands, like mid-range splashing lands or land splashing mid-range.
Land Pod Crucible. This could be an interesting one. God, you have to be scared of buggers on the play, don't you?
Yep, I think though that gets to a point where you're so scared that you just like, is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sure, why not? Even if you're playing him in the finals and there's a lot riding on it, you're just like, sure. You know, if you got it, you got it. I'll just do my thing and have a bit of fun with it.
It's
I think
definitely how the deck's built.
Well, I was listening to them interacting, and that's what it sounded like. Elliot and Michael both seemed in pretty good spirits.
Yeah. So, Alpha Lenore Elves, it looks like. It's an Alpha Lenore Elves. To the corners. Let's see if they have a mirrored opening. Now, so this time we have the Bayou into the elf on the opposing side of the table, which is definitely what Elliot would like to do again, but it's
not the dream one for Elliot.
Yeah.
Why do you think Elliot's kept this hand then?
He did well to 6. And he probably has 1 or 2 pieces of disruption. But not having a turn 1 play may be incorrect. Whether or not it is something else. He's got a Scavenger Goose, so he has a turn 2, but maybe you do need a mulligan.
Maybe he could have he might have kept Strip Mine and a Him, and it seemed good. And then when he sees the dog, he's like, okay, well now Strip Mine.
I think he's got Forest Ooze, Pod.
So it was search for a card.
Yeah.
Those 3. Which is why Michael's on 17.
Just put on the top. It's VT, yeah, you put it on the top. That's right. Yeah, so he's going to draw the channel and potentially kill Elliot next turn, assumably. But yeah, it's actually quite interesting. You do get to hide it on the top. So you can't actually Thoughtseize at this turn, which is an interesting play. It's going to be tap of Ooze, yeah.
Ooze, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, because by putting it on the top with the Cruel Shooter means that you can't obviously get it Thoughtseize or him down to your hand, which is interesting.
Yeah. One thing to note about Michael's deck is you can play very aggro. Like, is Michael good versus Burn, or does Burn get you down low enough, quick enough that he can no longer channel effectively?
He was win positive against me when I was playing red. Just because the red deck actually has no interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And usually there are ways where you don't need to super leverage off the channel to win, because you can just do a small channel, do something else. Yeah.
Not Stormlots yet.
Revelations for 4. This will be for. I assume this will be for Lotus, Aureox Salvages, Kaleidoscope, and a Wish. That's what I'm gonna bet.
I'm gonna also bet that.
Alright.
Although you don't need Kaleidoscope if you've got Aureox and Lotus, right?
You don't.
No,
but
because it makes him.
But him. Yeah, you may give it a matter with that way.
So maybe it's just a Thoughtseize.
I don't think you get the Thoughtseize here. It'll be kill condition, some form of Bomberman, and something else. I feel, but we
the
may be
4th
wrong.
might just be super.
Oh, you just did it for 3. Yeah, same pile.
There we are. I'm talking about how he doesn't need a 4th.
Yeah.
So
I thought he motioned for 4.
Yeah. And that's it. That'll be Tendrils. The face is complete.
It'd be Gravestone. And Tendrils this time, right? Change it up.
Lovely. Well played by both players, and I think we always. I was going to say we always knew where that one was going, but Elliot, I didn't realise Elliot actually won game 2.
Yeah, the game 2 was actually, I think, the start that Elliot needed for this game as well. Just like pressure and disruption, which is traditionally what the rock style decks is supposed to be doing. But yeah, just like I said, these Michael's decks are so fast. It just preys on these mid-range decks as well. Like, he was still developing a board and just doing stuff in between. And Elliot was obviously trying to play catch up for the entire game, but just kind of never got there. So definitely an interesting one.
I want to see more of Elliot's deck as well. Yeah. I want to see it again. I
like to see it grind out in a matchup. Yeah. I think that'd be really interesting to watch because he does have access to stuff like Titanium, Birthing Pod, and Rabbit Excavator, and all like these Abzan grindy cards, but in a bit more of a smoother mana base with a few more just like black green heavy hitting threats. But the white, splashing the white for the Abzan is almost a bit of a free roll. You do get better cards like Path and those kind of things. Knight of Autumn's another insane one.
Interesting. The green black seems more streamlined, but in reality, in Highlander, because of the way the fetch lands line up, 3 colour, you don't lose much.
It's a little bit more resistant to Bloodmoon.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I like it. And looking at his list, like it's not like he has any bad cards in there. Like there's so many cards that are accessible in Highlander for Elliot that all the cards are sweet, all the cards are good, and he might just like playing with those cards and be like, yeah, I just want to play
That's definitely the beauty of the format. It's like because there is such a large card selection. So we did cut the Chromox, the Obeyance, and the Mystic.
Yeah, I agree with the Guruk and the Lily there.
These are the cards he didn't bring in.
Yeah. So I think Elliot probably doesn't lose much by adding a third colour, but it's still a sweet list, and I think it's still like a very playable, and he's still achieving everything he wants to achieve in a mid-range deck, right? So I want to see more of it. I want to see.
Hopefully you do get to see some further down the track and potentially more. I think this was Elliot's first AE event actually.
Yes.
So hopefully see him in a few more events and stuff to come. But I think that's pretty much it for this round, and we'll see you quite shortly in the next one.
Catch you later, guys.